Against.
John Lumb.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. Question number 14.
Minister.
As the honourable member will be aware, child protection and policing are devolved to the Scottish Government. We regularly engage with them on a range of issues, and this has included the National Inquiry into Group-Based Child Sexual Exploitation and Abuse announced by the Government. On the 26th of June, officials met to discuss the Government's approach to the National Inquiry, its remit and expectation that relevant findings and lessons learned would be shared with the devolved administrations, and we will continue to discuss this with Scottish counterparts to ensure a comprehensive UK-wide response.
Senior Scottish advocate Sandra Brown has said grooming gangs could be operating in every town and city in Scotland. This is a scandal that affects the whole of the United Kingdom. So when will the government extend the grooming gangs inquiry into Scotland? Surely all victims across all parts of the United Kingdom deserve justice.
Of course, I agree with the honourable gentleman, and that is why he should take that issue up with the Scottish Government as it is devolved. And as I have said, we will make sure that all learning is passed up into the devolved administrations.
Minister.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. My honourable friend's comments relate to the question of whether this will indeed be a national inquiry rather than a coordination of a few local inquiries. All the victims and survivors deserve justice, so can the Minister please confirm for us today that every town and city with a grooming and rape gang will be part of the inquiry, including and especially where local authorities may not wish to be?
To the honourable lady's question, whether a local authority wishes to or not is not up for debate. The inquiry will be decided by the chair of the inquiry, as would happen in a statutory independent inquiry, and that work will go on. And what I would say is that what we have to make sure of when we have inquiries is that we actually live by the recommendations of those inquiries, and that is why I asked the honourable lady why she voted against mandatory reporting and grooming as an aggravated factor, which were recommendations from the last inquiry when she was asked to vote for them.
Question 16.
From Secretary.
Mr Speaker, small boats undermine border security and put lives at risk. The criminal gangs have adapted their tactics to exploit French rules that prevent the authorities intervening in French waters. The French Minister of the Interior and I agree that this needs to change. He has instigated a major maritime review to change tactics and operations, and we want to see these changes in place as soon as possible.
Julian.
I agree with the Home Secretary that that would be a major step forward. Does she agree with me that on average, well over 1,000 people have been crossing the Channel each week this year, and that there is no way that any form of court procedures can keep pace with that? So does she therefore agree that nothing other than either prevention, as she's described, or interception, or, as a last resort, detention and return can possibly be successful?
Well, I do agree with him that we need the stronger action to prevent the boat crossings in the first place. That is why we are working closely with France, both on strengthening the law enforcement, with a new law enforcement and investigations unit set up in Dunkirk, and also on the issues around maritime tactics, because we need those interventions as well in French waters to prevent boat crossings in the first place.
Mayor.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. The small boats crisis is one of the single biggest issues that my constituents raise with me, and while the government has made progress on returns, it is the case that crossings are still happening. So what assurances can the Home Secretary give my constituents that these gangs will be dismantled and that these crossings will stop?
Well, my honourable friend is right to refer both to returns, where we have increased the returns of failed asylum seekers by more than 20% since the election, and also to refer to the action against the criminal gangs that operate. And it is why, because we know that there are particularly Iraqi Kurdish gangs operating in northern France, we have a new agreement in place between ourselves, the French government, and also the Iraqi government and Kurdistan regional government to pursue those gangs.
Richard Baker.
Mr Speaker, question number 17.
Mr Speaker, with your permission, I will group this response with question 25. The Government is determined to crack down on antisocial behaviour, and tackling antisocial behaviour is a central theme of our Safer Streets Summer initiative, which is currently underway in over 500 towns. And our Crime and Policing Bill provides policing with a suite of new powers to tackle antisocial behaviour, including respect orders, to get persistent offenders out of town centres, and stronger powers to seize dangerous and deafening off-road bikes. Measures that I will remind the House again that the Conservative Party voted against recently.
Richard Baker.
Thank you. With increasing incidents of antisocial behaviour and falling police numbers in Scotland, will the Minister assure me she'll share learning from the Safer Streets initiative with SNP ministers as it's rolled out to encourage them to raise their game on this issue? And will she also join me and with Police Scotland and Fife in praising Kingdom Off-Road Motorcycle Club in my constituency, who has such success in running activities which divert young people from antisocial behaviour?
Well, of course, I think it will be very helpful to learn the lessons that we will find over the summer with our initiative and our blitz on town centres. And I'm sure I'm very willing to share that with SNP ministers. I think that would be very helpful in light of what my honourable friend said about the problems that they're facing in Scotland. And of course, I would welcome and commend the work that goes on in my honourable friend's constituency, working with young people.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. We have exciting plans for Gateshead Town Centre, but more work to do on antisocial behaviour. Northumbria Police's Operation Shield brought down antisocial behaviour significantly, but more powers and more officers are needed. So what is the Government doing to ensure the police have both the powers and the resources to tackle persistent antisocial behaviour?
Well, can I first of all say that I'm very pleased to hear about the work that Northumbria is doing and Operation Shield. I think that's to be commended. And of course we want to work collectively with forces to focus on those town centres nationwide, while recognising that some town centres and areas in this country have more significant problems to address. We want to build on the existing data and the good practice and evidence to develop a model which can then be rolled out up and down the country.
Sarah Dyke.
Mr Speaker, Glastonbury Town Centre has seen increasing rates of antisocial behaviour, shoplifting and crime. A local charity shop manager told me that residents and customers are too scared to walk down the high street, obviously then having a negative impact on the local economy. So will the Minister meet with me to discuss how effective community policing can be the solution to persistent issues that Glastonbury is facing?
Of course, I'm very happy to meet with the Honourable Lady, and this is